let us know. Oh, good.
You can check the stream.
Mm-hmm.
We can go.
Woo!
Yeah, try it now.
Yeah.
Refresh the page.
Refresh my drink.
Do you need a drink?
Just water is good. Oh, I think it's trying to do something. It flashed, please stand by, but then it started uploading more. everybody. This is that channel's very first broadcast on the West Coast. That's right, that channel is, we're happy. We are.
We are.
Because we're in Vancouver. That channel has been in Toronto for 10 years. And myself and our number one button pusher techie, Wijima, off camera right now, of course, is we're here. And we are here to bring community media to Vancouver.
Yep.
And we are going to talk to Michael Lowe a little bit because, Michael Lowe, you're going to be starting your own show this week. You've got some really amazing guests that you're going to have on your show. But before we talk about that, we're also going to talk with, we're going to talk with Miriam, Zora Durrani, that's right. And she's going to talk to us about Surrey Muse a little bit later on. And, you know, I would say that this was the Liquid Lunch show, but that's what Hugh Riley does, our founder, back in Toronto. So I think this must be the Solid Crunch show. And this is Solid Crunch as opposed to Liquid Lunch. And I don't know if you're able to see the stream on the YouTube link if you have tuned in tonight. I'm just waiting for an upload. You might be able to hear the audio on this. So, Michael, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? How long have you been a part of the community on Commercial Drive?
Well, I first moved here in the spring of '86, I believe. And so, yeah, I don't know how many years that makes, but yeah, I moved out here in the spring of '86 and had an incredible summer with Expo and, you know, lots of different political events that I got involved in and seeing the other side of the story, which is kind of what this show is kind of about. You know, you get a lot of media gloss and a lot of posturing based on money and corporate greed and how things are going to look like. So it's really important, I think, to try and get the lowdown on certain stories. But, you know, there's also other things, too. I think there's a lowdown on life as well, you know, a lowdown on inspiration. Like, sometimes when people experience, like, something in its essence or something in its essence is communicated, whether it be an idea or a concept, I think it's really important that people have a way to share that. So that's what this is kind of about. You know, I think everybody has a good essence in themselves, so we're going to share that essence.
Yeah, I really like that idea. I know that you had talked about sort of dowsing out what was really the pulse point of what makes people in our community get out there and do some of the awesome things that they're doing.
Yeah.
So I think that's really good because we also talked about how when we can put people on internet television like this and we can offer the community control of the media, like you said, without the corporate control. Edit, right? Live or not. That was really good. Michael, I didn't know you would do that well.
You gotta figure out what setting you're gonna run off. Yeah, sure. I've never done YouTube live before.
Pulling off all this deep shit and shit on me.
Sorry.
No, it was good. I was see, God.
Refresh.
I just did it. Now
That-
it's
I
much
love
better.
that,
Yeah,
because
actually,
that's
just
like-
now I did. Well, I had
Yeah,
paused
like,
it.
I
put it
don't
to
know,
low,
like, that's-
whatever,
It's
take
gonna
its
be
time.
good. That's pretty much.
Yeah.
So,
That's pretty
I
much
just
it.
changed
Michael,
appreciate the offers, I do, but I'm not.
No,
I
no.
interviewed somebody last night.
one of my birthday gifts, and I haven't really.
Yeah, no, he needs to.
You need to do the tech work, but.
Michael, do you want to do this one? Do you interview Miriam, and then you can have her run through it, the whole introduction, and this is la la la, and then the outro thing.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you should have.
I'd
one.
like to see that because then
Now,
I can
right
give you
now,
some
are
pointers
they
if you
actually
need some.
seeing some clips like you said?
Sorry, I didn't mean. I know.
Wait, no.
Unfortunately.
Wait,
I'm sorry. Which of us?
Wichima. I don't have to say Wiggum. It's not Wiggum. It's not a good.
No,
it's
Widge.
I can
Widgie.
say Ch.
Yeah,
Widgie.
or Widge.
Widgem. Oh, I like that. Widgem. What was I gonna ask now? Oh, are they actually seeing what Lalo said they're gonna see?
Oh, no, I was supposed to switch to that.
Because
other
there
thing.
are two people watching, and there's someone named Lalo. That was someone named something else Pink.
Oh, Lila Pink.
Yeah, and he said this is taking a bit technical delays.
Oh yeah, that was
Some
me.
other word, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
there's
thought
also
it was
Lila-
you because
she's
it's
really-
Lalo.
No, that was
Pink.
me, Lalo Pink. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. My other name's Pink.
And so
That's
I
me.
made a note and I said, it's working now, a bit choppy though. And it was you, Michael Lowe. I was acting like you.
That's
I
kind of
need to
exciting
refill
though.
my
To be
drink.
excited to be alive though. Here.
It
No,
is
that's what I
beautiful.
like. I like it. I like the whole
There's
business.
ice in the top.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, you're right. I can do this.
Can I get my computer?
Yeah, now they're seeing,
You're not putting cough talk up there.
Can you
It's,
Oh my
just
god.
give us a little, that's what
Play
you
Cough
said.
Talk.
you said we were going to,
Pick
so I
something.
like words
Oh,
not.
Pick when it was me and Lalo and her.
Oh
so that
my
it was a bit more
God.
direct.
No, but Igor doesn't need to see this. Help
Yeah.
me.
Oh,
Okay,
That won't
then
be
don't.
very-
If it's gonna jeopardize anything or make Lalo have to say excuses that are not true,
Possibly.
then don't.
I
Well, the
suck
right-
at
the right
lying, so
edit,
don't
the
ask
right
me
Yeah,
to.
she sucks at lying. So. Where's the Jerry though? That's
Oh, I
why.
put some in already.
Oh, thank you.
Did you put some Coke in? No.
I kind of wanted it the way it was, but
Oh yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Coke.
Have it.
Oh.
Have her like.
yeah,
Probably a little
just a
strong.
little little cash Coke. Bam, bam.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at the fish.
Sorry.
I switched it back to traffic.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good.
So the other cool
Well,
thing
can't
is,
we put something on Michael Lowe's, like the record of orchestras?
We will. We'll edit it. Well, this will get
Okay.
edited and get some green screen images into it, and we'll make it into something nice before we shoot it out there.
Cool.
This is just anybody who happens to be watching gets the pleasure.
this
of
is
seeing
just
it
a
raw.
test run of the live stream. I've got to work out some kinks and stuff. This
Okay.
side seems dimmer.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
That
it's gonna be a
side?
bit more light.
That camera's kind of crooked
Yeah.
a little bit,
Yeah.
enough to be noticeable. Little
It is
things like
crooked,
that
yeah.
I'm just trying to
Yeah.
like.
Sure. You've got a lot of other things going on too.
But this desk makes things feel straight. And Michael Lowe's got a good posture too. So
But
it's
all
fine.
of the cameras are feeding nicely video signals, so
Yes. Well, I've been happy that I just had a really good live stream.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I know what to expect.
yeah.
I think this is great for what have we been here for 3-4 days or something?
It's very productive, you
And
guys.
you know.
I'm very,
Way to go,
I'm
Jay.
impressed.
I'll show you
I mean,
how
most
it
people
With
wouldn't
all
even
three of you.
try and do
Yeah,
this,
sweet. Thanks for helping.
Like,
My
they
pleasure.
wouldn't want to do it so fast and, just jump right into the pool. Should we plan? Should we this?
The
and should
first
we
step
that?
was
So
just-
thanks.
You sold it to Michael Lowe, and then it's done.
Yeah.
Then you
Oh,
just
yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
skip the step.
Yeah, and I didn't want to, I didn't want to make any assumptions about that. So while it was happening, I was just like, this isn't really happening.
Until it's sealed.
Until
I
we're
don't know.
live.
Anything could have been happening here when I got here.
No, that's good.
Like your place could have been full of musical equipment. You could have been rehearsing a band or something. Anything could have been happening here, really.
Yeah, you had no
Ah,
and we know, we know ahead of time. We try to invite them and see if they can.
The muse has no boundaries, really.
The muse has no boundaries, and the way that we program it as well is that we don't really plan and match presenters either. We just, in the beginning of a 6-month period, we send out invitations to a list of recommendations that anybody could give us these names. Anybody can send us. And the recommendations list is basically, you know, whoever's on top is on top, and you know, you just keep adding names as you get the recommendations, and every time it's the beginning of a 6-month period where we're booking, right? We send invitations to the amount of people that we need by number in the recommendations list, and whomever responds and says they pick their 2 favorite dates, and you know, and so what I'm saying, it's sort of a Fazia Rafiq is in it. She's a founding member. Sana Janjua, she's a founding member. They both invited us, Miriam, me, and Randeep Purewal, invited us to come on board to do this as a collective. And Fazia Rafiq basically calls it a lottery process. I'm not sure, is that an old term? Like, you know, what does this mean? Like but what she means is that it's random. You know, it's like bingo. You know, the balls are flowing and you pick one out, and and you know,
it's a great mixer.
But it's interactive. You know, we send the ball out. If the person responds and says they have these 2 dates, if we can slot them in, and you know, then they're there. And so, and what's amazing about it is, well, I'll explain this next principle of Surrey Muse first, is that we also want it to value discourse. So when someone presents their music or their theory about something, or the new novel and an excerpt from it, or a film viewing, you know, a scene, we don't get to discuss it with them. We don't get to talk about what they brought up. You know, we only get to, and I understand, you know, if you're just into just art pure, you know, you just want to see it, and then and there's this nonverbal communication. I value that, I understand that, but we all thought if people are to gather and there's this audience, they've just been exposed to your themes and what you've brought up, and the assumption is that you do have some themes, that you do have something to bring up, and the assumption about art is that you do, you know, and so therefore there is this discourse. And so you present for 20 minutes and you have 10 minutes of discourse. So each discipline does that. We usually have an author, a poet, and a performer or a filmmaker, you know, or how you define yourself. That's fine, as long as we have 3 kinds of disciplines. We have room for that, and it's a 3-hour event, and people actually come to it. You know, that's amazing to me, to have 3-hour attention. And then you have open mic after that.
It's fascinating material if you can get down to people's, process.
It becomes, very fascinating.
And, that's great, because I think everybody, I think we all want a certain, not we all want, but it's more like, we can demystify it a little bit. There's no way that we can ever demystify everything about our creative process, but there's also things that happen that bring us to that place. So it's great to be able to share that, you know, and it could be like, you know, could be very traumatic experiences. So like there's all sorts of really amazing stuff that can happen, I hear.
Great. And because it's sort of the lottery process, it's amazing to see when themes match up without being planned. And how it sort of makes it more like, and it's mystic. You said demystify, and I remembered the word mystic, though, the opposite of it, but
well, that's exactly what it can do. Like if you're doing a mixer, you're getting to know the artist, but